Okay, so let us start and continue with what we learned in last session. And we are going to see some more example such as construction injection and setter and getter injection uh, with spring. Okay, so last time we learned dependency injection IOC container, and we complete the two example here. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen right now. Okay, see here. These are the two examples we have seen. One is example with the bin factory, where we create the um, bin factory object. Okay, as a factory here, and we use a resource and bin factory. That is a container IOC container of bin factory kind, and the same example we see here with the other reference employee and employee address here, and here we learn with the application contacts. Okay, so choice is here. My suggestion is what you go for application contacts. It will reduce your coding size. Okay, you simply put the single statement, not a two statement. You are declaring resources in this class, and then you are calling a bin factory through resources, and this is obsolete method. Means we are not using right now. Okay, so so my suggestion is what you choose this kind of what the application contacts kind of what the example. So if the uh, university practical is specify the specific option here. So if they are specifying that you should use the application contacts or bin factory, at that time you go for that. If they are not in specifying any method here or class, so then go for application contacts. Okay, so that we learn, and I already share these rar file here in our WhatsApp group. If you see our WhatsApp group here, and in that WhatsApp group we share the videos as well as the rar file here. So if you see, these are the rar file which I okay, here I'm just showing where you get this particular example. Those who are not uh, refer this, they can refer this file, and this is a spring practical 1 and spring practical 2, and I have kept the video also of that practical, and where you're supposed to see those video and do your practical accordingly. So let me check the video link which I shared here, uh, or division A only I share, I don't know. So let me check, because I have shared the video link also. So if I'm not, then I will share today itself. Okay. So here we are using this. You are supposed to do this practical as soon as possible and complete that practical. Yeah. So now the first is the objective of this practical is to understand the use of. Okay, so yeah, I'm using slash star and star slash here. So author is Manula Satam, and objective of this program is to understand IOC container here. Okay, and in that IOC container, we are using application contacts by using application contacts. Type 2, and that is application contacts. So there are two type of what the container. One is bin factory and another is application. It's a type one. Very sorry, and in that type one we understood bin factory. Okay, and the same thing I'm going to do here in my practical 2, and in that practical 2 I have place understand a type 2 part, and that is something called as a application contacts. So now I'm going to use today the practical number 3, spring practical number 3. So I'm creating I already created a class called as a person.java, and which has a name and age, and this is a constructor. So you are allowed to use a constructor, and you can write uh, a parameterized and non-parameterized constructor here. So I'm passing a parameter name and age. If you are not passing any parameter, then you can assign the value without a parameter here. So I'm going to pass the argument list, and the first one is name and the second one is age. So accordingly, I'm creating my beans.xml class. Okay, so let me check how many people are waiting there, and I'm going to add those people right now. Okay, so I'm admitting them. So let us move to the construction part here. Okay, so if you want to show these things again, simple. I'm just declaring my two data member. It's a private string name and private int age. Okay, so once you create a class, then you are going to choose a source, and there is a getter and setter, and you are selecting all and generate getter and setter. Similarly, I want to create a constructor, so I'm choosing source, and instead of getter and setter, there is something called as a constructor using fields. So I'm choosing constructor using fields and clicking on generate. So it's going to choose name and age, and it's calling it's a object superclass constructor. So if you don't want, you just remove this super keyword. Otherwise, if the things if you are not providing name and age, then it will call the object class constructor. Okay, every class is inherited from object. So I already created a person class. Now I want to create a beans.xml. So I'm taking a beans.xml from here and wants to choose beans initial uh, okay link, and I'm just clicking on beans.xml here and pasting the beans.xml. Okay, and closing my beans tag here. Okay, so I'm closing my bean stack. So showing error initially. Now I'm declaring beans n number of beans, but I already have one bean here. Okay, so this is my bean, and the name of my bean is person bean. So I'm declaring this ID equal to person bean here. Okay, so I'm choosing a person being here, and the name of class. The name of class is com dot here, and the person p capital. So I'm choosing a person. Now I want to choose control space bar, and there is something called as a constructor argument description lookup method meta property. We already learned property part, so I'm going to choose a constructor argument here. So I have to write a constructor argument here, and when I'm pressing space bar, so it's saying what kind of type your constructor argument is. So I'm saying it is a string kind. So I'm choosing a string kind, and I'm writing a value equal to. So whatever the person name I'm writing here. So I'm just putting this Sukhi Ram as a value here. Okay, so previously we use a property, now I am using a constructor here. The same thing. Again, pressing control space bar constructor. Arguments, I know the second type is an integer kind. So I'm choosing integer type and the value of integer kind is, I'm saying it is 24 year old. Okay. So these are the arguments we are just adding those people again. Mhm. So these are the arguments where we are passing string, kind and integer. So constructor arguments I already created, and there is a person being, and I have created a person object here. Okay, so now I want to create a text bin class. So I'm choosing new class, and I know the source is com.array, and this is my text bin, and that's practical number 3 here. Okay, practical number 3. I need a public static void main arguments, and I'm clicking on finish. Okay, so now I have application contacts container. So I'm choosing application context here. Okay, so I'm using a variable of application contacts type, and that is a context. So it's showing me to import my respective class. So I'm just clicking here, so it's providing me the list of library here. So let me check. So import application contacts, I'm calling from org Spring Collector. So I already added references library. So you already know how to add it. So I'm skipping that part. So please remember before starting, you have to load those library here. Application contacts object is created. I need to initialize this. Then there is a something called as a class path, and you are going to write your source, that is where your all all beans are declared. So my beans.xml contains a single bean called as a person bean here. Okay, person bean here. So I already given a name, that is person bean. So frequently you people are going to use. So what kind of question the people ask in a exam as well as in a practical exam? Okay, theoretical exam and practical exam. So if you see the dependency injection and constructor part here. So I would like to share this part here. So it's saying dependency injection two-way by constructor and setter method. So when we are actually seeing this demo, I'm going to put this code here. Okay, and so I'm saying that you have to create the constructor. Okay, and then here instead of person employee, I'm using person here. So name and age are the determined beans, and then we are testing this and calling through constructor injection here. So you are going to use construction injection uh, with a simple constructor. Then we are going to see the constructor injection dependent object. So that object part we have not yet create, that we are going to see here. So I will place all those example with the theoretical part, where you can write a theory part there here. Okay, so let us move to the eclipse again, and application context I already have. So I'm just creating my person object here. So this is person, and I need to do a typecasting, but before that I'm just choosing a contact start, and there is a get beans, and my class beans name is person bean here. Okay, and the person being is there, so it's asking for typecasting because so I'm adding a cast to a person here. So once I done, then I'm supposed to print the person object here. So I'm choosing system dot out dot println, and I'm writing the name of that person. So name equal to, and I'm choosing the method called as a person dot. There is a method called as a get name. I need to call through a object here. Similarly, I'm using println and then age equal to, then plus person dot, okay, get age. Okay, so please remember that I already initialized this with the help of a constructor. Okay, so this is my constructor, and this is a parameterized constructor here, and I'm passing two arguments here. So in my beans.xml there are two arguments. This is argument number one and argument number two, and there I explain what kind of type of that argument. So my type of the first argument is a string and second argument is int, and the values I assign to initialize this. Okay, so beans dot xml server. So now I'm running this example. So I'm choosing Java application to start compiling it and clicking on OK, and if everything in a properly placed, so it will display the output accordingly. So let me show this output here. Okay, so it's showing Sukiram and age is 20. So my constructor argument is working right now. So this is my spring practical 3. So we covered constructor argument. Now I'm going to cover a constructor argument uh, with object. Okay, so let me show what we learn here. So I'm just copying here and placing my objective or aim of what my this particular example here. So my aim to understand the constructor argument here. Constructor injection. So this is known as a setter injection and constructor injection. Okay, so constructor injection we learn here by using this example. Okay, so if you see CI means constructor injection, and every time the dependency injection by using a constructor example. So what we create a primitive string based value, and we are going to use the dependent object example here. So what is this dependent object here? So when you are using any dependent object in a constructor, so if you are choosing with a dependent object, and when we are choosing with the other parts. So here we are using the another example where we are saying that we want to initialize my address constructor also. So we already have a two classes, employee and addresses, and we are assign this with the constructor object here. So we need to use the uh, constructor injection with the dependent object. So if you see, there is a constructor arguments for uh, one of the addresses, and there is another constructor arguments for the another object. So there are two different constructor or arguments and for two different being, and each one is using each other part only. Another is here you are referring a being of what your main constructor. So let us understand this with the help of example, and I'm using my uh, spring here. So I'm choosing the uh, new project. Yes, I'm choosing a file new project and Java project, clicking on next. So the spring practical number, spring practical number 4. Okay, and I'm keeping my default JDK as it is. So let me check how many latecomers are there who wants to add. Yeah. So moving towards the constructor with a dependent object. Okay, constructor with a dependent object where the dependent object is the address. Okay, so I supposed to write two classes here. Okay, so I'm just ungrouping it and wants to add one more class. Okay, and that is something called as an address class here. Okay, so I'm just showing you, this is my address class, and address class has add1 data member and add2. Okay, and add object is one of the object of that address class here. Okay, so one of the member add is one of the member, so this is address. Okay, and so now my address is depending on my employee classes. So it's referring my employee class is always referring by address here. So let me show, not this. I have to choose in another video. So I have to choose this in this way. So my reference is given here. So I'm choosing REF. It is a reference. Okay, so it's referring that my employee class is going to refer my address class, and then this is called as a dependent object example. Okay, so I'm going to create a address class, I'm going to create an employee class, then I'm referring my address data member as one of the data member of employee, and then I'm defining both the constructor inside the wins XML, and then I'm testing that. Okay, so let us move with this example. So I'm clicking on finish. Don't want to create a model, don't want to use this part. So this is my another application I'm closing right now, so it will not disturb my all the parts. So I'm closing my existing project. Okay. uh, okay, so now only one single JRE and source with no class. So I need to load my classes, Spring classes, which I need for running Spring application. So I'm clicking on build path, configuration build. I already share the entire external files. So I'm adding my Spring files here by clicking open path. Then I'm clicking again on class path. Then adding external jar file again. Okay, and moving to another folder, that is jar files, common login file I need a common login file, one more common login file with a doc here. So I already have common login uh, bin file, jar and java doc jar. If you are adding 1.2, then you don't need to add 1.1 here. Okay, because 1.2 is the latest version, so you don't need to add, but this practice I'm doing frequently, so that's why uh, I'm adding both. Okay, so you check whether it is working without 1.12 or not, or maybe some absolute method uh, is there and it's required the old version. So I'm choosing a new class here by pressing, and this is my package com dot here as well always, and my class, I am supposed to write a class name is address here. So I need the constructor with some data member. So private string, and this is address 1, and private string address 2, and private string address 3. Okay, I need a setter and getter here, so I'm choosing my setter and getter here by choosing source or writing select all, generate n number of time. I'm repeating these times, don't need to worry about. Okay, so if you do a practice frequently, it get a register in your mind. Okay, so I need a constructor with using field. So I'm choosing my constructor, selecting all and generate it. So this is my constructor without a super part here. So I have already created a class address. I created a class address with three arguments which I supposed to pass in my bin.xml. Now moving towards the another class called as an employee here. I'm choosing a new class and the name of class is here that the employee there. And need to add a data member, and those data member as usual that is private in employee ID. Okay, private string employee name and uh, private uh, address ADD. Okay, so these are the my arguments where I'm actually using this is object of address class. Okay, and so I'm going to use this employee. Okay, constructor, setter, and getter. I'm choosing my generate getter and setter, selecting all, generating it. Okay, and it's returning get address instead of returning get address. If you want to print that, I told you that you choose a string instead of okay address here. So you can add get add one plus a slash in. Now I am because address is actually written in a string kind of. So I'm going to write. So you know, slash in is nothing but escape sequence. So it's putting your uh, new line on each after printing each address line. Yeah. So slashing is moving my cursor to the next line. Okay, so this is my get address. So I can change my property accordingly. That doesn't mean every time it's give something which is defined automatically. So I'm choosing my string dot get add instead of returning address here. Okay, so I'm returning string, so that's why I put the values there. So let us use. mm, so I already created both the employee as well as the address. So now I want to implement the address. I already created address object. If you see inside the employee, so employee has add data member which is the address here, so it's referring. Okay, now I need to create a bin example here. So I'm choosing source here and selecting my bins dot example here. So try to keep your bins example. um, so I need a XML file. So it's a simple XML file. Okay, you can choose this simple XML file here. Better you choose from other here. So it will put the specific format. So I'm choosing new other here and in list of XML file without schema. Okay, and I'm writing here new file beans dot xml. So remember, it is not inside the com.here package. Otherwise, compiler will not get this file. It is always in source. Okay, so please remember, you should write those things in a source. Otherwise, it will give the error message there. Okay, it will not load the bins here. So, so, so this is com.hire is a package where address and employee are there, and bin.xmls are the part of what the source. Okay, so you are going to put inside the source. So whenever you are creating beans.xml, you put a right click here. Okay, and then you choose new and then others. Okay, don't put here, otherwise it will create XML somewhere here. Okay, and it will, if you are creating XML somewhere here. Okay, so it's look okay, so I'm just showing a moment, so it will not get the source here, and it will trouble you to at the time of compilation here. So I already have the format of spring beans.xml. I'm just copying and pasting the part which I required. So let me copy and paste those part here up to spring beans.xml. Just copying it, and I'm showing error here. I don't know. Okay, so bin.xml. I'm pasting it here and completing my beans bar. Okay. I'm showing error now. I forget to. No, it's correct. Some. Okay, forget it. So that already compiled. Now I'm using bin.xml, and now I need two bins here. One bin is the address bin, and the second bin is employee bin. So I'm choosing first address bin. So I'm choosing ID equal to address bin here, and referring a class. The class is here package name here dot sorry com dot here dot the name of my class. If you are writing a name in uppercase, be careful and write the name accordingly. If you are writing a name in lowercase, and then you write the name in lowercase. Otherwise, Bean will not provide you a proper uh, okay class path. So yeah, I'm writing employee Bean. Okay. And the class of course com dot here employee. Okay. And so what I'm going to do here, I'm using my constructor arguments. I know in constructor arguments there is a type, and all are string type. So I'm choosing string, and I'm putting a value here. So whatever. So flat number. So 420. Okay, and I'm using another address line too here. So second constructor argument is address line 2, and it is also string kind. So I'm typing a string kind here, and the value equal to some Saitangali. Okay, and third constructor object I'm using by pressing Ctrl spacebar, and type is equal to string. Okay, and then value is something. So okay. And now I'm using another constructor arguments. So I know the first is a type equal to string kind and employee name. I need employee name as a value. So Sukiran. Okay, and the second constructor arguments, control space bar, and type equal to integer kind. So I have to check in my employee the order here. Order is important. So employee id is first, so I have to write my bin xml accordingly. So I have to use value equal to 1001. So I'm just making order and moving my first arguments here. So this third argument which I'm going to call, and that is address kind. So type equal to. So if you are looking for this kind of one argument, then you are simply using the reference bin here. Okay, and you are not going to use any kind of what type. You simply use a reference bin here. So which reference object you are going to call. Okay, and my bin is the address bin here. So I'm simply write address bin. So automatically whatever the arguments you are going to declare here in address bin, that will available here. Okay, as an argument. So this is calling here. So you don't need to type something, address and all other stuff here. You are only referring. So if you see, I'm only referring my address inside the employer. So my bin.xml is ready right now, and now I want to. भाई साहब अभी आए मैडम. So I'm using beans.xml. Now I want to test my uh, address object here. So ci as an object. तो यहाँ पे मुझे I need a class of text being. I'm choosing a text being, and this is a practical. Hello, 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 hello. Please mute महेश गुप्ता जी. म्यूट करो. मधु, please mute your mic. Thank you. So now I'm choosing public static void main and clicking on finish. I need application contacts. So I'm choosing application contacts here, and contacts equal to, then need to call the respective package. So I'm just clicking here, so it will provide me uh, the pop-up, and I'm just calling the respective class. So need to initialize the application contacts. So choosing class path, and inside that there's a beans.xml file. So now I need to create my employee object. So I'm creating employee object here, emp equal to, and using a context and calling get wins here. So I need a get wins, and the name of my bin here, that is employee bin. Okay, great. So it's asking for the what do you call it? The casting. Yes, I'm casting it, and now I need to print those things. System.out.println. Yeah, I need employee ID. Okay, equal to. So emp dot, there is a get employee ID. So it's going to print employee ID, which I already defined as 1001 here in my Excel. So if you look at 1001 is my employee ID, name is Sukhiram. So I'm going to print the name. So system dot out dot println, and employee name here equal to plus emp dot get name, and system dot out dot println, and employee address equal to, and then I'm choosing emp dot get address because it is in string, so no need to bother about because I already saved this as a string, right? And I'm running this application, running this Java application, so it's going to show the output. Yeah. So let me check where we go wrong. So saying that bins.xml is not found. How? How come? So let me check the name, argument, string, everything is correct. Yeah. Bins factory, employee bins, spelling, employee bin, employ employee bin, और हमने यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है, address bin, employee bin define, could not resolve constructor, इसका constructor. Okay, we don't have a constructor of employee, we only have the, तो मुझे उसका कंस्ट्रक्टर मैं भूल गया, आई हैव टू क्रिएट अ कंस्ट्रक्टर. Okay, I forget the constructor of employee class. Okay, so I'm choosing a constructor here, constructor using a field, and I'm selecting all, I'm generating all the stuff. So employee ID, address, and all other stuffs are there. Yeah, the constructor is there. So now I have to check my test being practical again. Great. So the output is there. Employee ID is 1001. Employee name is Sukhiram. Address one is flat number 420. Shaitan Ali, something like that. Okay, that's it. So what we learn here, we learn the objective of what this particular example is to understand the, okay, what I have created here, the use of other stuff here. So I'm just clicking here to understand constructor injection by using object. Okay, so I'm just copying it and writing my test bin objective here, and that is understand construction injection with object. Okay, so now I'm going to explain on the collection part. So that generic method you already learned uh, in first unit. Okay, you already learned a collection method in first unit. Okay, so we are going to use a collection. So before that, I'm closing the project, and this project also I'm going to close. Okay, so this is a practical which I'm creating, and that is again a project and Java project. Clicking on that, and this is Spring practical number 5. practical number 5. Clicking on next, finish. Don't create, no, okay, wait. So I need all the libraries, and I'm using my new class first, and this time I'm creating a test bin, and that is practical number 5. Okay, and public static one object, and putting my objective here, pasting it. So objective to understand the using a collection here. So we are different kind of collection. So we are going to use a list collection here. So I can implement the list collection in this example. So if you see, there are n number of what the CI. So we already learned dependency. So there is a list state and map, and we are going to check the list collection and other stuff here. So I need to provide a list of argument by choosing a list as a constructor or argument here. Okay, and then we are calling this a list through some example. So let me show that the CI constructor injection using a collection. And also I need to add library string library, choosing a build path, configure build path, class path, adding external library, common jar file, both, and again clicking on class path, adding external file of jar file, simple jar file here, clicking on class path, adding external jars, going in upward direction, and spring distribution kit libraries and all other libraries, and apply and close. Okay, that's it. So once I added all those necessary parts, so I need to create the some another example where I'm going to create the list of employee. Okay, so I'm referring this as a some value, whatever the list you are going to create. Okay, and you are calling those list from some information here. So it depends how uh, information of list you are going to use. So I'm creating a list of employees. Okay, because I already have those list of employee, and I want to create those list of employee here as a employee kind. Okay, and then we are calling this as a record number 1, record number 2, whatever, and then we are using this. Okay, so whatever the list we have, we are initializing those lists by choosing a constructor argument here. Okay, so I'm trying to keep this only. So let me check how I can put all those stuff in a simple form. Okay, I decide to take this same example, and then we will go for the employee afterward, because employee contain the n number of data member. So I try to keep with a simple data member, and then we will use in a different way. So I need to create the list of questions which they are giving, which has questions and answer here. Okay, so where you supposed to put the questions and you are giving a selection, a multiple choice question kind of. So understand constructor injection using collection. So I'm creating multiple choice questions and I'm giving a choice as an answer. So I need a two class. So one class is a questions here, and I supposed to create this inside the com dot array, and I am going to create a question. Okay, our questions, a question here. It's a simple class. I'm creating a simple class called as a question. So who come here? Arey, wow, 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 wow. Good. And so here I'm creating a class called as a question. So I need a question. Okay. Statement I can say. So private string, and I'm writing a statement here. So whatever the question statements I'm going to use, I'm using those statements as one of the uh, part here, and I need the answers. So answer is a string kind of, n number of answers are there. So I need a statement, and so if you want to introduce question number here, so simply you it's a question number. So I try to keep a meaningful data member here. So this is my question number one, two, three, and this is my statement. And now I am going to generate a list of answers. So list of string kind and answers are okay. Document. So I need the util interface. So I'm importing my Java util package. I already explained at the time of what the collection, what is list interface here. So you can create and generate a list of string kind here. So I'm generating a list of string kind. So n number of answers are there. This is question statement. This is question number. So I need the constructor for the same, and I need a set and get value. So I'm using my setter and getter. Select all. So this is a good practice, even though they are not giving you. So you can set a question number, you can set a statement, you can get a statement, you can set the answers, and you can get the answers here by choosing a list of Wondershare. So how we are retrying those things, and how we are setting the values, that is matter here. So I need a constructor. So I'm choosing my constructor source and the constructor using fields. So selecting all and generating. So if you see, this is the constructor you are supposed to use there. Okay, and you people are using iterator and to display the value. Okay, and so I'm not displaying here because everything I'm going to initialize with the constructor. So this is a collection. I have created the question constructor and list constructor. So this is a constructor and this is a parameterized kind of construct. So I have to take care of what? The question value statement and collection value. So I need uh, object, collection object. So let us start with source again and creating a new class. ये कहाँ से आ गया बीच में? डिफॉल्ट पैकेज, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. Okay, I need to create a new class. I think default class name test bin biology. Okay, I'm just moving, removing this test. Okay. Now creating a new class and the name of text bin here, and that is practical number 5. Okay, and public static void main. And before that, I have to create my bin dot beans.xml. I'm choosing a new other part and I'm choosing my XML file and creating beans.xml. Okay, so it is coming somewhere else which is not recommended. So I'm just moving here in this. Otherwise, I have to remove this, delete again, and recreate it. मेरा mouse का issue है, so I'm choosing my SRC, pressing right click, new, other, and XML file next, type beans.xml. Great. So all those stuff of bean.xml I'm taking from template of bean.xml. I'm just copying it up to here. Okay. And pasting here. Great. And then closing my beans and creating my own bean. So I need a collection bean and question beans. So I need the bean, the first beans, and I need a collection bean. Okay, so this is my ID and ID name is question bean here, and I know the class equal to com dot here dot the name of the class is question. So arguments, that is problem statement here. So I know it's a type of integer kind, and this is a question number, so I'm choosing a value. So this is a question number 1, so I'm choosing q1. It is an integer kind, so I need to put a 1. The second constructor argument is a type, and that is string kind, a value. So who is a prime minister of India. Okay, so I'm just putting these constructor arguments. I need a list of our arguments inside, and I'm creating a reference for the same here. So when you are choosing the value, so here you are using a list as a argument here. Okay, so there is a no reference, only a questions, and you are calling those being here. So I need a constructor arguments with the list which you are supposed to create here. So n number of list arguments you are going to create by choosing. If you don't know what you are going to do here, just press the. So yeah, I'm writing value. So whatever the multiple choice option you are going to provide, you just provide accordingly. Okay, Rahul Gandhi. Okay, then I'm using a value. Narendra Modi, and So just I'm giving some value here. Okay, and this is my constructor argument. So I'm supposed to call these options with the help of what the question. So I need a text bin where I can display the question as well as the option available. Whatever the choice people will select accordingly. We will write business logic for the same, but just I'm showing how the collection are taking place. Application context equal to, I'm just calling my respective framework, initializing with a new class path and the name of bin, that is a question bin, sorry, bins.xml file is coming at the bottom. Let me check. Supposed to go somewhere. Okay. So bins.xml. Now I'm going to use my question object. Okay. U is question equal to context and dot get is, and the name of bin is question bin here. So need a typecasting. So typecasting I need. So I'm choosing add a cast to a question. So QEE dot. And now I need something where it will display the question as well as it will display the list arguments also. Okay, so I need to write some display information kind of okay functionality. So if you want to do you are allowed to do. So I'm writing a question statement here. So system dot out dot println simply call by using double quotes without giving simply calling my get statement option. So there is a method called as a get statement. So it's going to print a statement, and below that it's giving me a choice of so I need an iterator here. So if you see iterator here which using here. So I need an iterator. You already know what is an iterator. Okay, so iterator of what kind of iterator you want. So you are calling a string kind of iterator and you are using the object iter, and it's needed to initialize those iterator there. So how you are going to initialize? Okay, so whatever the answers you have, you are going to give the list of what the object. My list of object is answers, and you want to use iterator there. So I'm choosing answers dot iterator. So it's going to set for answers. So while there is a ITR or has a next, so it's keep on uh, generating the value system dot out dot printing here, and I want to print the iterator value. So whatever iterator is there, it's going to print the value when we are using a next here. So I am using ITR next here. So let us see. So whatever the arguments I have created in front of the example, that will going to display. Okay, so I'm running my application. So this is the example of with the collection. So it's loading. What happened? The question your Java is not defined. Yeah, it is defined. Argument of integer kind and string kind. I have created a question. But I have not called my uh, method. I forget to call a method, and that is question dot display function. Okay, so that is the reason it's not showing output here. So I'm running. Uh, so great. So who is the Prime Minister of India? Rahul Gandhi, Narendra Modi, and Sharad Pawar. So all those collections are taking place. So if you want to put inside the list when you are generating this list, so you just put one, two, three, kind of what the numbers. Okay, so all are so now again I'm running this. So this is all about the collection here. Same thing you can do with the mapping and set. Okay, so that example I will give you directly as a practical, that is practical number 6 and 7, which is similar to what this. If you see the map and the this part, so if you are seeing map means you are going to pass n number of what the field. So list is a single array, I can say it's a vector kind of what array. Mm. And map is two-dimensional or multi-dimensional array. So if you want to handle more than two methods, then you are going to use a map here. Okay, and it is something called as a key value part, and you are going to use kv kind of for the time. So here this is a key and this is a value for that. Okay, so if you see map, I will record this in other example here, and I will share this map kind of one. So we are completing the this part, but this part which I am using here according to the syllabus here. So let me check the syllabus copy again. Yeah, it is not available. So I have to check a syllabus copy somewhere else here. NCS syllabus copy. N number of time I have. Wow, Gaurav Kali. Good. So I'm choosing NCA syllabus. It's a new copy. NCA new syllabus. Let me check. I just referring what we have going to learn. Okay, so this is a new syllabus. It's a 2 years course. You already know. I'm looking for a Java content, advanced Java, and advanced Java lab. Whatever the in LMS, whatever the lab I'm actually creating last year, that is according to the list which is mentioned in this syllabus. So your university paper will say which is based on what that syllabus. So let me show. So I'm talking about the Spring framework, and here we understood IOC container, okay, and dependency injection with setter and constructor injection. Okay, all those stuffs we done here. So now I'm going to show you the overriding bean, auto wiring, bean lookup, and Spring message bean here. Okay, so all those part I'm going to show. Before that, when I'm going to use JDBC data access with a Spring, okay, at that time I'm using this is see the weightage of this particular uh, unit is so Spring and AOP I will take soon. Okay, but if you see the advanced topic here, that is lab content. So I just want to show the lab content here. See, all these six models uh, suggested list experiment we covered. Okay, and so these are the 10 experiment are there, and the same is available under our LMS. Okay, generic part, and what we cover here in Spring. So if you see Spring will write a program, hello world, and demonstrate dependency injection via setter method and dependency injection via constructor. So all those these guys are not asking you about the collection, but I provide this collection and all other first. So out of five practicals, there are only three practicals which they are expecting. Okay. Then in aspect oriented programming that I'm going to start uh, okay in next week, and before that I would like to show JDBC and clear some JDBC concept, and then we will use unit 3, and then next unit, and then we will cover AOP part. Okay, so if you see dependency injection with a collection that we created here, and we are supposed to create this example uh, of the question bank, and I'm using question, and this is a number, and this is a statement here, and we are creating this example. Okay, and we are generating a list item of answers here. So this is my list item. So let's keep on generating the list item. So this is a collection of list kind. So what we learn, I'm going to share this entire notes once. So we are importing a list collection inside our question. Okay, so we are part of question. These are the list collection here. So mapping and all other stuffs, non-string collection here. So list collection. So list collection of different kind are available here. So it's a list collection of string kind, and if you want to see with a non-string collection, so you can choose instruction and all other stuffs. So 7 and 8 example I will place soon here. So this is about the dependency part here, and auto wiring and all other stuff. I'm going to show you because it is not available here. Okay, I already created auto wiring part here, so I will explain those things. So the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever the minutes are left, I'm going to review or revise your JDBC part, and then we will start the unit 3 first, then we go for AOP, that is aspect oriented programming. So if you are looking for aspect oriented programming here inside the Spring. So what is aspect oriented programming, and why this is actually, in theory people will ask you what is AOP. You already know object oriented programming. So how aspect oriented programming is different from all other stuff. So I'm giving 5 minutes break here. Okay, and after that, I will continue with JDBC, and then we will start with aspect-oriented programming and the wire part, which I am explaining according to the syllabus that I will continue in next lecture. So take a 5 minutes break, and we will continue with the. I'm giving a bio break of 5 minutes. I will rejoin after that. Hello, am I audible? Hello, break is finished. So let me know.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Kanchal. So let us continue with the part which we want to revise for JDBC part. Okay. So as I told you that JDBC is nothing but Java database connectivity here. Okay, and frequently the people are asking a question in your practical as well as theory. Okay, so whatever the user interface you are going to use, this is your front end. You can create your front end in any technology here. Okay, and in that front end, you people are storing the information in some database in the form of a record here. So this is your backend. So you are allowed to use n number of what the tables, and you are creating n number of records inside them. So n number of fields are there. Okay, and each field you are creating the records. So suppose these are the five fields you people are using this. Okay, and creating those records and forming a table here. Okay, and you are using this table and making a relationship between this table or the form, whatever. Okay, so if you see so this is my table, and I want to store the value permanently here. So these are the table. So database, you may use any database here, and if there are n number of tables and they are making a relation, so it's a SQL based kind of what uh, environment. And nowadays people want unstructured things. Okay, and they are keeping the data in unstructured form. Okay, so there is no RDBMS in current scenario. So now people want to store the data in unstructured form. So this is called as a document kind of what they did. So previously the people are using structured data and storing the backend inside the backend. Whatever the popular database are there, they are using those database here. Okay, and there is something in between, and that is called as a connectivity object here. Okay, so if you see, this is my connectivity object, and in that connectivity object we are making a connection between the front end and back end here. Okay, so if you see, uh, these connectivity object are responsible for responsible for storing and retrieving the data from the database. So JDBC, Java Database Connectivity Object, are the popular one who are taking the information and making a connection between the front end, and they are sending the data to the database here. Okay, in a backend, and they are retrieving the data from a backend. Okay, and that data will again send across the front end here. Okay, so so all the process are taking place in between this. So your front end may be a simple HTML. Okay, your front end may be a swing. Okay, AWT. If you are using a Java technology, then your front end may be a swing AWT. If you are using a web technology, and then your front end may be HTML. Okay, and if you are using the server side technology on a Java platform, then your uh, front end is JSP or Solid here. Okay, so all those front ends are there where you people use this technology to design the front end here. So people will people can retrieve the data, and people can interact with what those screen as a form here. So people can store a data, okay, and that data will actually collect, and then those data will get placed under a certain database here. Okay, so here I'm showing. Yeah. Okay, so it's keep on taking the value from the database here. So you need something called as a connection string. Okay, and everywhere the connection strings are available here. In every technology, it's providing those things here. Okay, so connection string is responsible for finding out the information regarding what the database here. So if you are choosing the connection string here, and connection string wants to know about the database here. So it's referring a database location, it's referring database catalog, and storing, it's checking the authentication like username and password, and everything is contained inside the connection string. And your JDBC technology will, or any kind of what the connection object. Okay, if you are using a .NET, then ADO.NET is doing those things for you. Okay, and so it depends upon what technology you are using, and accordingly the things are taking place here. So if you are using the backend, then backend is nothing but a simple database. So you are using either Oracle, or you are using MySQL, okay, or SQL here. Okay, and MS SQL. If you are using Microsoft technology, then you people are using Microsoft SQL here. Okay, sometime the freely available edition called as the Express C. Okay, if you are using open source technology, then you are choosing MySQL, not Oracle. Then there is a Postgres SQL. A lot of things you are going to learn in future. So Postgres SQL is a popular another database engineer. The people can use this database as a backend. So MS SQL, MySQL, Oracle, all are the database we are calling as a backend here. So what this particular database connectivity is doing here? It has n number of what the drivers here, uh, in with respect to JDBC. So if you are using JDBC, then there is a type 1 driver, type 2 driver, type 3 driver, and type 4 driver. So we are decide to use a type 4 driver. Okay, and so where you need a connectivity component, and that connectivity component will store the information. What is the role of what the string here? Okay, so basically when you are using swing as a swing or AWT as a front end, at that time you people are creating the JDBC, but Spring is not involved there. So when you are choosing a Spring as a connectivity component, so it's using a dependency injection. So everything is get converted into class. Okay, so whatever the database is there, so you are going to create those database content as a record inside the class. So your connection, so your constructor dependency is there, or setter dependency is there, or your object dependencies is there. Okay, so all the dependency injection which you learn just right now in last week, so those things you are going to use in a database connected. So that is the reason I'm going to show you that insertion, updation, and all this stuff we learn here. we are going to connect this with any kind of other database here. So if you see here, so there is a server and you are supposed to add those server in a background, and that will take care of what your database connectivity, because you people are uh, going to interact this with your either HTML solid or Swing component by using Spring, okay, component. So insertion, updation, deletion. So we are going to learn a CRUD kind of application. Okay, and so this is known as a CRUD kind of application. So CRUD application, we people are calling this. Okay, and C stands for create, CR stands for create, and U stands for update, and D stands for uh, delete. Okay, so whenever you are creating a CRUD application, so you are expecting the inserting a record, updating a record, and creating a record. Okay, so adding a record, inserting a record, so you people are firing the query here. Okay, so when you are firing a query to the database here through some JDBC component, connectivity component here. Okay, so this JDBC connectivity component is firing a query here. Hmm. And that query will generate some result. So if you see, this query is fired and it will generate some result. Okay, so query is there and query is generating a result. Okay, so queries depends upon insert, update, and delete. So it's generating a result here. So we are collecting those results in a form of collection here. Okay, and this is nothing but one kind of collection, and we are actually using creating a set of result here. So set of result, okay, which is generated by as an output, and therefore we are calling this as a result set here. Okay, so whatever the query is get fired, that fire query result will actually taken care by result set here. Okay, and it's referring, it's a one kind of what the pointer I can say, or reference variable who are taking care of what the entire record, whatever the record is get fired. So it's a single record or multiple records, everything we want available here. Okay, so we are going to see this with Spring, and we are using those stuff in our along with the Spring component. So let us check with the NetBeans here. So I'm choosing a NetBeans, and if I'm creating a simple application uh, and wants to connect with the JDBC component. So instead of Oracle, you people have Oracle, you people have MySQL in your syllabus. So choice is your which database you want to connect or you want to use in application. Just I'm showing the demo for the same, and you people can uh, use this demo to understand or refresh your JDBC concept. Why I'm showing this because it is not in a syllabus, it is a part of what the core Java, and still I'm showing because I want to build up a concept which you already uh, not using long back. लॉकडाउन में बहुत सारी चीज़ें मस्त बैठी हो गई. So DB connectivity is the name of what my project here. Okay, and so I feel that you should use. So this is not my main class. So I'm creating this class So this is my database connectivity, and this is my source package. I have not yet created the source package. So I need to create my main class. So this is my main class. So DB connectivity. Okay, database connectivity, and I'm writing pom dot array. Okay, is a package. So let me check. Okay, so you already know this, and I'm adding public static void main string arguments here, and let me check this object. Say system dot out dot println here, and say hello world. Okay, so let me check it is running or not. Just running this file. I just need to print my output here. Yeah, hello world is there. So I need to create the object of my JFrame. So I'm using my DB connectivity and creating my object here. So new, there is something called as JFrame. So I'm calling this as a my frame, and the package is com.array. So I'm clicking on finish. So this is my frame, and there is a palette tool available at left hand side. You can create the swing control shapes. Okay, so I'm using a panel, and I need three kind of for the panel here. The first panel, I'm setting for input here, so it's my text panel here. I need a panel that is called an internal frame here. So I need and creating a panel. Okay, I'm clicking on that. So this is my panel. Okay, okay, and the second panel I need to create, and that is something here. So the first panel is the second panel. I need to do a border here. So I'm choosing a properties and creating a border with a simple line border. Okay, I don't want a color rounded border, so I'm closing it. So border is there, so you can see the user interface. Same thing I'm going to do here. The choosing a properties and the border here. Um, Clicking on it. Okay, so NetBeans is providing a nice part here. So this is my another panel, and that is a navigation panel here. And I'm supposed to use this. जैसे कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट फास्ट लेवल पे आपको करने के लिए यू शुड नो द information where those things are places. So if you see, so this is my uh, stuff here, and I want to put some heading here. So I need one more panel, so where I can put the heading of my application. So this is my frame, and if you see, so a lot of stuff are taking place here. What happened here? Yeah. So I need one more panel, and just clicking here, so it will not overlap with the other panel. Right? I need to check and don't want to disturb other stuff here. So it will get overlapping with each other. So I don't want splitting it and selecting again. Yeah. I will give a heading afterward. So here somewhere in my text box. So I'm choosing my text field here with a label. So just dragging and dropping here my text field, and again label and text field, label and text field. So scissor swing component, don't worry about how the things are taking place. It will, okay. And this is my text field again. You can create any object. So I'm just pressing edit text and say name, roll number. So if I'm using my component and I don't want any kind of font text here, I'm just deleting it and just selecting and increasing the length. Okay, same thing here. I'm using a name and removing my text content. So increasing the width. So, and the last one is the percentage here. Okay, so if you see the label, automatically the things are shifted and changed. So you can select, and I want a four button here. So it will, I can arrange, rearrange all those stuff here. So this is my one panel, this is my second panel, and wants to add some more buttons. So this is user interface. My uh, string is provided, and here I'm adding my button. So this is my button, J button. So I keep on adding a button, the second button and third button and the fourth button. And the fourth button I'm going to place here. Pressing edit text, and this is my insert, and then edit text and update and delete and exit here. So I'm putting all those stuff in same size here by selecting individually and checking the size of the, okay. So if you see the preview, you can check preview in metal box or whatever. So this is my preview here. And I need a navigation button, so I am going to use a navigation button so I can record. Okay, so for more button I need. So I'm just selecting edit text and saying vertical line, and this is my first record. Okay, and edit text again. So this is my previous record, and this is my next record, and this is my last record. So I want to do a navigation accordingly. Okay. Now you can do a project in any technology. It's not compulsion, but you should any platform, but you should use the implement the syllabus content. So if you are going to use this edit text, तो यहाँ पे मैं text हूँ. So if you see view right now in numbers or somewhere else, so this is your design preview. So you want to create. You simply call new my friend here. So you are calling a new my friend here. So whenever you are running this file, so it's going to run your application. So it's going to load your frame and it's going to show your frame here. I think I have to use a show option here. Okay, by default it is uh, okay. By default, the connect set visibility is off. So I have to check set visibility for true and the false here. So it will generate the set visibility here. So I have to check the constructor for the same. सोर्स में जाऊंगा तो यहाँ पे सब कुछ मुझे यहाँ पे दिखाई देगा. So everything will automatically taking place. Set visible is true, okay, but when the event is firing at that time, so you can run directly instead of what calling DB connectivity. So you can see insert, update, delete, and exit part here, and you can use and insert a data in a respective database. So inside the services, you have to check for your MySQL part here, okay, and then database connectivity is there. So you are using a XAMPP. Okay, I don't have a XAMPP. Let me check. XAMPP installer नहीं है मेरे पास ऐसा कैसे? I have to check my XAMPP controller. Yeah, yes. So there is a XAMPP controller available. So I'm going to start my XAMPP controller. Yes, yeah, it is there. So now it is already there. Stop Apache 80 and MySQL 3306. So it's running in the background. So if I'm choosing my local host and I simply write a local host here, so it's going to show my PHP my admin. Okay, you don't have a permission to access the source. So I let me check something is not available. So I'm choosing 1.0.0.1 PHP. My admin instead of HTTPS. One 27. It's a local host only. Okay, 0.1 ठीक लोकल होस्ट में जाना चाहिए. So instead of local host I'm using 127.0.0.1. So it's supposed to be and PHP my admin. No. Okay, so it is a issue of what the accessibility. Okay, ठीक है. I will check this the rights, root rights and database connected rights. Okay, and then it will allow me to access my databases. Right now, it's not allowing me to do that. Maybe I'm stopping these services and starting again. So let me check. Okay. So in next class, what I'm going to do is I'm showing the database connectivity in JSP as well as in String. Then we will learn other part here. So right now I'm stopping, and we will continue with this practical, and we will check our database connectivity here. So there is a text application, and when I click on connect, so it's going to show the okay connectivity here. So it's available here now right now. So when I'm clicking here, so it's giving me a test database and the tables which I have not yet create. So I can create a table directly from here. So I'm going to create a table called as a student, and I can add a roll number. I can create from here also. So roll number is a numeric kind. So I'm choosing a number uh, instead of what. So int and euro. So I'm setting as a primary here, and then I'm going to add s name, that is student name, and that is a text kind or varchar kind. So I'm going to choose a size as a 50. It's not a primary key. And third is a percentage, which I already defined. Okay, and it is a float kind. And I'm giving okay. So my table is created here. So I can insert a record. So this is my student table, and which has data. So I can view data. So data is not yet shown. Okay, but I can insert the record uh, from here only. And I'm using this database connectivity along with the along with my uh, database sorry, along with my स्विंग के साथ मैं इसको बताऊंगा आपको, और फिर उसी को हम लोग स्प्रिंग के साथ कैसे काम करते हैं वो देखें. Okay, so we are stopping here. So we will before that I have to take attendance. So wait for a minute. Yeah. So what date today? Today is the 26th February. Advanced Java class. Okay, so we are stopping, and we'll meet in the next class. So I will share the entire video with you. Okay, and you can see and check the practicals also. Thank you. झालं.